Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Brian, and
I may or may not be Eduardo.
every time
artist
he does
formerly
this,
known as Prince.
thank you for at least changing it a little bit.
Ah!
So we're back with more Mass Effect 3, and we're changing things up a little bit with how we do these videos.
I think you talked about this before.
We did for God of War.
Oh yeah, we did.
Since God of War is going after this.
That's right.
Hey. So we're doing post-commentary for this game now, and, hey, this is going to be a lot easier for us. We're going to be able to talk more consistently. We're not, focusing on necessarily playing the game as well as...
Now you're just making them not want to hear us anymore.
I
They're
know.
like, we're going to be talking all the time. Like, they're going to be like, what if I want to hear, Shepard say, I gotta go. Again.
Excuse me, Admiral.
I have to go.
Bye. It's my favorite place on the Citadel. Anyway, so we are going to we're doing stuff on Rannoch, and we're actually doing like the side missions, like saving whoever and blah blah blah.
Saving Private Ryan.
So we're not doing the main mission on Rannoch just yet, and that'll happen in the next episode. But we're so close to the end of the game. We're about 4.5 hours video wise of stuff to do in this game before we complete it.
Yeah, so we're going to annoy you for another 4.5 hours.
Yay! So, I wish I should, kind of just cut this part out, but, hey...
It's always fun to show off the guns, because they're actually really cool. It was like what I was mentioning before with how I do thoroughly enjoy how they hired... I say hired, but it's all in-house because DICE is owned by EA. But they got DICE to come in and go, hey, I want you guys to look at the guns and make them sound realistic, look realistic, and behave realistic.
Make a fake space gun sound real.
Well, as realistic as it can, obviously.
I know.
But I don't know, I do thoroughly appreciate that because the weapons are awesome in this one compared to 2 and 1.
Yeah, and DICE definitely does a good job with, The only thing I still wish that they did in Mass Effect 2 and 3 that they did in 1 was the infinite ammo.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And you could swap parts and stuff. That was fun.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, you can swap parts, but it's like you don't upgrade the parts as much as you did in the first game.
Well, because they streamlined the inventory system, which it kind of makes sense, but I would have liked something close to how the first one was, where you could have multiple versions of the same part or something.
Yeah, and you can stack them or something.
Yeah,
like
that would be so cool. Like, how cool would it be if you had double, one gave you double the
power.
Capacity or power, and then you had another one that was slightly less powerful, so it gave you not double, but
a third.
Yeah,
more.
A third more. And how cool would that be? Because then you'd still get, I think in the first one is suited more to your particular play style.
Yeah.
Where the other two are kind of forcing you to play more action
on their rules.
Yeah.
But the thing that I personally liked was you could sell parts.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, in the second and third games, yeah, you can buy stuff, but you don't really have as much of an income as you did in this game versus you did in first and second game.
Yeah, but also compared to the first one, I never actually ran out of credits. I think I ran out of credits maybe 1 or 2 times in the first one, not so much in the second and third one. In the second and third one, you're getting credits from everything. You're getting credits from missions. You're getting credits from things you find in the world. You're getting credits from fallen enemies. You're getting...
And selling them. And
yeah.
Oh, and I in this episode, I actually figured out what... when we were fighting on the Geth ship, and we were wondering what kept hitting us, it was Geth landmines.
Oh, that's what those are.
I'm sorry, Garrus. Garrus wasn't hurting me. It was, Geth landmines that were catching me on fire.
Because Garrus is a bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's a bro.
And I do like the sniper rifle. The Javelin is...
Look at that. It even
a lot of
outlines
fun.
them.
That's what I actually really like. It helps when, especially when we get later on with when we attack Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
They use smoke bombs and stuff like that, so you can't see the atlases or whatever. Mm-hmm. So using the Javelin when you can't see through the smoke is really handy.
Yeah, there's actually the certain scope like after you get to a certain level with the scope, it actually allows that, but the javelin does it straight out of the box, so
which is really nice.
So you don't have to upgrade that, and you can focus on if you wanted to have more power or if you want to have a higher capacity. It allows you to do that, which is really cool. And you keep hitting those.
I do. I honestly, I just if you guys haven't noticed, I just keep running through damage because it doesn't ever break my shields.
That's what
Being
it is.
Being that we're on like narrative difficulty or something like that.
I like that's what it's called. It's not like I noticed that for a lot of games a lot of games don't call it easy mode anymore. They call it like story or casual, or in this case, they call it narrative.
Yeah. I've seen some games that when they make it narrative or easy, like super easy or whatever, there are games that actually like remove enemies, so you just play through with like the set plot points.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know of anyone who would ever want to play it that way, because that would be really like
you thought
boring.
There was a button there.
I did, but you have to kill all the enemies first before it activates.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. Like I think it would. I don't know. I would prefer a game that just made the enemies easier. Don't dumb things down to that point that it feels like I'm missing out on content.
Yeah.
Because that's not cool. That's the one thing I don't like. Like when you're playing on like Rock Band and you play easy, like almost 2/3 of all the keys that you would normally play are taken out.
Yeah.
Just make it a little bit simpler. Slow down the track speed. Or, or have,
not so many things in one sequence.
Exactly. I mean, but I mean that one's also a little bit different compared to something like this, because the difficulty comes from being able to hit all those notes in the proper sequence.
Yeah.
So, but still, I just feel like sometimes it makes you feel like you're missing out on content, and that's something I never want to feel in a game, because then I feel like that because I can't do it on a higher difficulty, it's, like the game is treating me like I'm an outsider of something.
Yeah.
So
you're an amateur.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also why I tend to play on harder difficulties of games, because not only is it harder, and then I feel more, I feel more power. Yeah, more accomplished and more powerful by beating these things, but also because then it also negates that whole I found one.
Yeah, see, I shot one landmine, but I think I get hit pretty much immediately.
It happens. But then I feel like I'm not missing out on any content then as well. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Would be nice if more games did that instead of just saying, hey, we're going to cut out a bunch of stuff just because we don't think you can handle it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Like this game does it well with like there's still enemies, but
look at that pixelated blood on his head.
I did notice that. It's like, how are we gonna make this? I have noticed that, texture popping for a lot of stuff, like faces and planets and stuff. Clothes, no. None.
Well, it's because it's a smaller texture size. At least I think so.
It shouldn't be. It should be the same texture size for all the other stuff. They didn't detail it as much for whatever reason.
Which is weird, because that's what's being close.
Yeah.
So it's close up.
Yeah, like the blood on his suit. It's like, yeah, it's obvious. It looks like blood camo.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. He tried.
He did.
But, it's like, why would you just overlook this? And I have to admit, the birds in this look like the birds from Birdemic.
They are.
That's why Birdemic happened. It's the prequel to Mass Effect.
Exactly. The signs are there.
So, now that we found a dead Quarian or dying Quarian, we're going to supposedly tell someone that I don't think I ever tell the guy his dad made it to the homeworld or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's a thing. I don't think
you ever find him. Because I honestly don't remember ever doing that either. And if you do, it's probably such a quick exchange that it doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of it all.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't really worry about it too much if you guys are playing along with us. But
yeah, I wouldn't really worry about that. Compared to some of the other big things like destroying the AA towers.
Yeah, those are plot important. You must do those.
Exactly. Also, I love the machine guns, or not the machine guns, the miniguns.
The turrets?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm shooting at Javik because I think he's an enemy, and then I realize, wait, you don't have a health bar or targeting thing around you.
I've done that before. I do that in the multiplayer all the time. because everyone can be of every race.
Yeah.
So if you're playing against the Geth and then you're playing as a Geth.
Yeah, it's really confusing.
Yeah, it does. Same thing if you're against Cerberus.
Yeah.
Because you can get like armor that looks like the Cerberus armor. Mm-hmm. So if you have someone who's a human character and then they're dressed the same way, you're gonna be like, ah, and no.
Yeah, that's why when I played the multiplayer, I play it as the Battlefield 3 character.
Mm-hmm. That actually does stand out a lot better.
Because you have a orange stripe on one side and everything else is like a dark gray.
Yeah, like they gotta stop spelling that lasagna on them. I'm just
saying. Or the orange juice.
Yeah. The radioactive orange juice.
Yeah. Now with
the Nuka-Cola.
These turrets are so unfair on this difficulty. It's like
even on harder difficulties.
Yeah, when you're using this turret, you breathe on an enemy, they just explode. Mm-hmm. Like that Geth Prime took about maybe 4 shots, and then all of a sudden, hey, Geth Prime is down.
Yeah, and the Geth Primes will kick your ass in harder difficulties. I played it on the highest difficulty, and I was just like, it was not even. It was no competition. It was just he showed up and I was dead. He just looked at me and I fell over.
It's like, oh hey, there's Shepard. Oh hi, bye.
Yeah, there wasn't even an exchange of pleasantries. It was like oh, that was it. It's awful, but still, it makes it thoroughly. I feel thoroughly much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Oh, and something we should mention: if you bring anyone on this mission, bring someone who's technically inclined, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be best suited for disabling the AA guns.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
I honestly don't think it does, but I'm so used to like Mass Effect 1 and 2.
Yeah, I did actually like that because then you actually had to have your crew correspond with you. Because if you, because that's the one thing I really miss, the exploring the planets like that. I mean, I understand why they took it out because a lot of them were just empty and there was nothing you can do on them.
Yeah, some of them were like had this small collectibles and things like that, but they weren't really necessary to complete the game. It just got you more stuff in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Well, yeah, I mean they did have there were certain ones that unlocked or continued side quests that were in Mass Effect 1, but very few. I think of the 30 or so planets that were uncharted that you could get to. I think maybe 6 were side quest centric.
Yeah,
and then the other ones were just, oh look, here's some stuff you can find.
Yeah, here's some resources and maybe a collectible or 2, but that's about it.
Yeah, like Mass Effect 1 really feels like it was more of the, hey, let's prove we can do something with this, and then 2 feels like it's the refinement of what they wanted.
Yeah.
And then 3 just feels like, well, everyone complained that the combat wasn't, on point enough, and then they made that the focus for 3.
Right.
Which I feel like 3 is 3 should have been much more action focused.
Yeah, this is too much of a story, brief action bit. Story, brief action bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's you know what it reminds me of a lot? The whole sequelitis video with Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
When he starts talking about Ocarina of Time and being more combat focused, but they didn't capitalize on that.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 kind of did the same thing where it should have been much more focused on the combat. Like, I think it shouldn't have had cutscenes. It should have had more like how not Mass Effect Half-Life kind of does it, where you're still in control.
Yeah.
And people are just talking around you.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, I think it would have been better with something like that. But now it's time for Saving Private Ryan.
Well, not even. It's like the it's like the shortest NPC guiding quest.
To be fair, harder difficulties are a lot more enemies. A lot more enemies.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
And what's weird is he doesn't have a health bar.
Well, because I don't think he can die. I think you can die.
Yeah, you keep hitting the shuttle and you can't...
can shoot those rockets out of the sky.
I know, but it's like...
On easy, it's not mission critical. It's just making sure your aim is right. Even though you're shooting probably 50 caliber. Or...
Yeah, something like that.
Look, it's a rocket. Oh, and the only one that goes right through it.
That's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised they had a gun on this thing. Like a massive turret on one of these transports.
I forget. It was you. Do you have a choice in
rescuing him?
Yeah, rescuing him.
Yes,
or not?
you do.
Yeah.
You can either rescue him or you can rescue his squad. But rescuing him is always a Paragon option because he's a leader.
Yeah, he's an admiral. Yeah, because I don't think I ever chose to not rescue him, and I think it actually does impact the story in some way. At least the story, the part of being on Renok and everything, the stories that surround this planet.
Right.
I don't think it really matters for the end game because that's all there is after this is pretty much the end game section.
Yeah. But yeah, we rescued the Admiral, and hey, that's good. Kudos to us. Now that we've done that, I don't think there's any other side missions for Renok. I think we just go right into the actual Renok story mission.
No, there's another one. There's another one with Legion.
Oh yeah, there is one more.
Mm-hmm. There's another one there because there's 2 side quests, 2 ones that you start out with. I think a third one gets unlocked by doing part of one of the other 2 side quests.
Yeah, this is where we get the whole the second mission where we actually. Oh yeah, that's right. We did save Legion. I forgot about that because she said Reaper Code. I'm like, wait a second, did we save Legion already at this point? But yeah, we
you meet him the first time you go onto the
Reaper ship, the Geth ship.
Yeah.
So we got to go, and now we're gonna go and actually infiltrate a Geth system thingamabob.
Look at the weapons. It's a gun.
It is a laser designator.
Very just fancy. Made it look like, or does it kind of look like a potato gun?
I thought it looked like a flamethrower.
I think it looked more like a potato
Either
gun.
way,
look at it. It kind of looks like it.
You know what it does look? You know what it does look like though? You know in Halo how they have the fuel rod gun? Basically makes that noise. That's what I'm thinking of. The Halo 1 fuel rod cannon. It just gonna woo, woo. Yeah, and I like how the Shepard's like, can you hold out against battle-hardened robots with your farm ships?
That makes sense, Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard, you're not as good as a commander as you think you are.
No.
So now we get to decide, do another one's decision or another, and it's like, hey,
which really doesn't affect things either way. They're just like, I wish that these everything. I wish they had a more reactive world.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is that the world shapes around you, but then again, it kind of doesn't.
Yeah. But whatever. Hey, we're getting more war assets regardless, so that's always good.
No, of course.
And I think we got to talk to Hackett just because. Oh no.
No, you don't actually got to talk to Hackett. From this point on, you never really have to talk to him until the end.
Yeah, it's only story based. But at this point, I think it's a good time to end. So we will see you guys in the next episode when we go and do more stuff on Rannoch and delve into the Matrix, I guess.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.